Hey everyone. Look, we've all had a headache, right? But what if I told you that some of them are different? Today, we're going to talk about the really important stuff, the red flags that tell you a headache isn't just a headache, but a serious medical emergency. And honestly, this is information that could literally save a life. So that's the big question, isn't it? When is it just a regular, annoying headache, and when is it signaling something far more serious? How do you tell the difference? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out together. I mean, it's really no surprise that headaches are a huge reason people end up seeing a doctor. We all know that feeling, that pounding tension headache, or that awful sinus pressure. But here's the thing, to really spot the dangerous ones, you first have to understand this crucial distinction between two main types. Okay, this next part is absolutely crucial. This is the whole ballgame right here. It's not just about how bad the headache hurts. It's about why you have it in the first place. Let's break it down. All right, think of it like this. A primary headache is where the headache itself is the problem. You know, like a classic migraine or a tension headache. The headache is the main event. But a secondary headache, that's totally different. The headache is just the alarm bell. It's a symptom, a warning sign that something else, something bigger, is going on inside your body. And those are the ones we're going to be focused on today. Okay, now for the part you've been waiting for. This is the most important section of this whole explainer. These are the critical red flags, the signs that mean you stop what you're doing and get medical help, like right now. So please, listen up. If you ever think to yourself, this is the worst headache of my life, you need to treat that as a 5-alarm fire. I'm serious. A headache that comes out of nowhere and is just off the charts painful or feels totally different from any other headache you've ever had, that is a massive warning sign. We could be talking about serious issues like a stroke or a brain aneurysm. And that brings us to something called a thunderclap headache. And wow, the name really says it all. This isn't a slow burn. This is like a bomb going off in your head. It's an explosive, super intense pain that goes from 0 to 100 in less than a minute. This is a medical emergency, full stop. It could be a sign of bleeding in the brain, and you need to get to an ER immediately. So beyond just the pain, you've got to pay attention to what else is happening with your body. If your headache comes with any of these neurological signs, we're talking slurred speech, blurry vision, weakness or numbness on just one side, dizziness, or just feeling confused, all of those are pointing directly at your brain. A headache plus any of these, that's your body screaming that there might be a brain crisis happening. And it's not just neurological stuff. There are other serious symptoms to watch for. Got a headache with a really high fever and a stiff neck? That could be something scary like meningitis. What about pain when you chew, or your scalp being so tender it hurts to just comb your hair? Especially if you're over 50, that could be a sign of inflamed arteries. And a big one, a headache that just keeps getting worse and worse over a 24-hour period, that is a huge red flag. Hey, just a quick pause here. If you're finding this information helpful, do us a favor and hit that follow button. That way you won't miss out on any of our future explainers. Okay, so we've covered the symptoms. Now let's talk about specific scenarios. These are the situations where you don't wait, you don't wonder, you just go straight to the ER. First step, and this one is an absolute no-brainer. Forgive the pun. If you get a headache after any kind of head injury, a fall, a car accident, even a sports injury, you get it checked out. Period. It doesn't matter if it seemed like a minor bump. Bleeding or swelling in the brain can happen, and sometimes the headache doesn't even show up for hours or even days later. This one's really important too. If you're over 50 and you suddenly get a new type of severe headache, one you've never experienced before, that is a major red flag. Why? Because the risk for more serious conditions like something called giant cell arteritis or even a tumor goes up with age. So doctors take this one very seriously. And for anyone with a history of cancer or a weakened immune system, maybe from HIV or from going through chemotherapy, a new headache is a different level of concern. It absolutely needs to be checked out right away because it could be a sign of a dangerous infection or that cancer has spread. It's something that requires immediate medical attention. All right, so you've spotted a red flag. What now? This is where you take control. Knowledge is power, but doing the right thing is what really matters. The first step is simple, but it's the most important one. Do not try to drive yourself to the hospital. If you're experiencing any of these severe symptoms we've been talking about, call for help. Pick up the phone and dial your local emergency number, 911, 112, whatever it is where you live. Get the pros on their way to you. I know the ER can feel overwhelming, so let's quickly walk through what you can probably expect. They're going to start with a physical and a neurological exam, checking your vision, your balance, your reflexes. From there, they might order an imaging test, like a CT scan or an MRI, to get a literal picture of what's going on in your brain. And sometimes they might need to do what's called a lumbar puncture or a spinal tap to check the fluid around your brain for any signs of infection or bleeding.
We really put these explainers together hoping they'll provide some real clarity on tough subjects. So if this was useful for you, could you do us a huge favor and just let us know in the comments? It honestly helps us so much to hear from you.
And this is one of those topics where knowing the signs can literally make all the difference. So please think about sharing this with your friends, your family, anyone you care about. It's the kind of information that everyone really ought to have. And hey, while you're down there, we'd love to know what you want to see next. What's a topic that you find confusing or just want to know more about? Drop your suggestions in the comments. We're always looking for ideas for the next explainer. Finally, I just want to say thank you. Seriously. Thanks for watching and for engaging with this. By taking the time to learn this stuff and share it, you're genuinely helping us on our mission to build a healthier, more informed community. So thank you. And please, stay safe out there.